Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And
Halloween.
This is our Check It Out series where we showcase various board games to you. And today we're looking at
The Hunger. Check it out, 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 check it out. Spooky. The Hunger is published by Renegade Game Studios and Ori Games. It's designed by Richard Garfield and it's a 2 to 6 player deck builder.
Yay! In The Hunger, your goal as a vampire is to race in the beginning of the night as far as you can to the labyrinth to potentially get that sacred rose, eating many humans along the way and seducing a lot of familiars to come and help you out on your journey. But be careful, because if you're not back before the sunrise, you'll melt!
No, I'm melting. Well, with that said, let's take a quick look at how to play the game.
As always, you'll begin by setting up. Your board should look a little like this. Now each player will get their own character board along with their starting deck and a mission that they'll get to choose out of the 2 that they get in the start. The game is played over 15 rounds, and on each round you'll be drawing cards, making your way across the board, collecting and feeding on humans and treasures. Your turn is composed of 3 steps. You'll draw 3 cards and keep discarding or drawing depending on abilities till your cards are finalized. Then you'll determine your speed, which you'll use to move across the map and hunt. Now, how do you hunt? At the end of your turn, you'll use the speed that you haven't used for moving to hunt in one of these columns. Now, when you hunt, you'll score any victory points you may get, and add those cards to your discard pile, which means your deck will grow as it would in any deck builder. And then that is the end of your turn. You'll pass it on to the next player.
Once everybody has had their turn, the round is over. And then you can move the moon tracker marker up 1 space, as well as the cards on the hunt track, you can move them over 1 space to the right. After that, you can fill up the column of 3 cost cards like this.
Then you'll continue playing. Now the turn order is determined essentially how far you are away from the castle, with some exceptions of the pathways that you are on. Now, if you reach the very end, you're able to collect one of the roses remaining that essentially allow you to gather more points throughout the game. But it is tricky because it is the farthest point from the map, so you may not be able to get back in time. Now you're able to collect missions that will score points at the end of the game. You're able to collect treasures to give you a little bit bonuses, and various spaces have various actions that can benefit your game as well. The other thing to know too is that you don't always hunt for humans. You can hunt for familiars as well that will help you throughout the game with their special abilities. Now at the end of the 15 rounds, the game is over. If you didn't make it to safety in time, you will perish in the sunlight. But for all those that don't, you'll tabulate the points from your missions, from the public missions as well, and any cards that you have that have game end scoring. You'll add those up to your current score, and the player with the most points wins.
Will you manage to get enough food in your belly before the sun rises?
So what do you think?
I really like this game. First of all, the theme of vampires basically going out for a midnight stroll to pick roses is super cool, and I love the idea of like slowing down as you eat more as well. I think it's really neat.
Yeah, who doesn't love to just eat a ton and then try to run and then realize that they can't because it's too much food.
Cramp.
But I absolutely love the illustrations in this game. It's such a beautiful looking game, and something about it just seems very unique, and it just draws you into the game. I also have to say, I think this is the most thematic deck builder that I've played.
Yeah, it's really good at doing its job, and even the cards that you end up like drafting, like some of the familiars are very like epic, and there's like a wolf pack, for example, that you can end up getting a bunch of points off of if they come up. And the characters that they have for the different like categories, very cool.
Yeah, I just love so much that the more that humans you eat, the more lethargic and slow that you get, and then you just see the castle and you're like, I want to make it.
Yeah.
But so many humans are just weighing you down, so maybe you shouldn't have eaten that much. So that really sells the game for me for sure.
So why should you check it out?
Well, if you are looking for a deck builder that's a little bit on the spooky side, this one is definitely worth to check it out. There's a lot of qualities that will really draw you in, with the illustrations to the thematic gameplay that is seen on the board with the varying spaces and the varying card abilities. It's bound to crave your hunger.
Crave your hunger?
Oh,
That's not right.
Oh no!
Fill your belly.
I tried a pun and it didn't work.
The other thing I'll say is that it's designed by Richard Garfield, which, for those of you who do not know, he had a big part in Magic the Gathering. So the deck building and the cards that are in this game are very well thought through. And I would check it out if you are potentially looking for a lighter version or a lighter deck game than Magic. The other thing I guess I would also mention is if you really like Clank, I think this is a game that you could get on board with. It has a similar feel. It is very different, but it reminds me of you have to basically race down to the dungeon and then race back up before a certain time, and yeah, it's just joys of fun.
Yeah, the cards in this game really suit so many factors. I think the simplicity of it is what draws me in as well, because you essentially use your speed for everything. You don't have a separate currency for the market and a separate currency for moving. It's all one, and you get to decide how you want to use that, which I think is really clever.
Yeah, I think the one thing we also didn't mention is with a lot of deck builders, it can be frustrating not being able to get rid of cards from your deck. In the Hunger, you can do that. They have a mechanic called digesting, and there are a few different ways to do that, which I'm sure if you end up playing the game, you'll find out.
Either through the board, or some of the cards have abilities to help you. So you can thin out your deck a little bit, but still keep those humans for the score later on.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So why shouldn't you check it out?
Well, if deck builders are not really your game, then I think obviously you probably won't like the Hunger.
There's a really interesting strategic element here where if it's your first time playing and you don't really know that you have to get back to castle in time, and you're just, oh, I'm getting so many points at the end of the forest, I have tons of time to get back, and then you just perish in the sunlight and realize you've lost, that might be a really negative experience for you. And then I think that part of it, because it's not as obvious as it is that you have to get back or else you'll perish, sometimes when playing a game for the first time and doing that experiment phase, you don't really realize that.
Yeah.
So if you are keen on making first impressions really good, maybe this one might not be for you. Depends on how you do, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to really focus on what you're doing. There are a lot of cards in the game that will impede you from going faster, which is exactly the purpose of those cards. But there are cards in the deck that you'll run through that'll add additional power to you. So you'll be able to move faster, you'll be able to draw more cards. There is a bit of balancing. You just kind of have to decide how risky you want to be. But like Ilya said, if you are not the type of person that is willing to risk not scoring any points, then this might not be for you.
And of course, if you're opposed to eating humans, maybe not for you as well.
Yeah.
But overall, we really, really enjoy this game. I think what makes it so great for me is there's so many different strategies how you can play this game. You can try to race the labyrinth, or you can kind of hover at the entrance and try to digest and eat as many humans as you can up front, and hope for the best there.
Yeah, and you can really focus on missions. You don't always have to hunt humans. You can just focus on a familiar strat. There are a lot of different ways to go about this game, which I think I really appreciate. And it's up to 6 players. We don't say this very much, or we say this a lot, but anytime a game is up to 6 players, it's
Gets
amazing.
Applause.
Yeah, because then we can have triple dates.
Triple dates. Or just have a lot of folks over to play this game, which is so much fun. Now, last video we did have a giveaway, so we thought we announced the winner really quick right here on the fun wheel of giveaways.
Congratulations to... Bow.
Now, for our question of the day for you, we have, what satisfies your hunger? It's the middle of the night, you get up, you're very hungry. You go downstairs or upstairs or on the same floor. What snack or food do you grab?
Ice cream sandwich for you.
I do love ice cream sandwich. Ice cream in general is just so good.
Chocolate almonds.
Chocolate almonds. Or chips.
Or chips.
And then I crunch very loud and wake Tyler up.
That hasn't actually ever happened. I am deep sleeper.
That is correct.
Well, that's all we have for you today. If you liked what you saw, give us that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and maybe even that bell notification so you can get notified for when we release new videos.
And we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary real soon. Just in a couple of weeks, we have a lot of very, very exciting videos just for you.
And maybe giveaways.
Maybe giveaways. So, stay tuned.
Until next time, though, this is us checking out. Bye.
Bye.